projects that are extremely simple yet extremely complicated. And I swear you're gonna look at it and be like, I can't do that, that's too hard. But trust me, once you do, you'll be like, oh my god, I made this, I'm so proud of myself. But let's get serious, freeze frame. Now, if you are underage, you need to ask a parent or guardian if you can do this at home. It technically is a weapon, and my fingers are doing the quotations. So if you do it, don't take it to school so I get in trouble. So please be careful and don't be a fool and take it to school. Anyway, continuing on. You're cutting 3 pieces of wood the exact same size. Description box will have the measurements. You're going to sand it on down, and then one of them you're going to cut into the blade shape. So you're just doing like a bit of a triangle on the top. One of the other ones you're going to be cutting out, hollowing out the center, and maybe with like a 1/4 inch on either side. Keep it even. I didn't really measure this, just use your eyes. And then sand that down as well. And then that's going to be the outside thing for the mechanism to go back and forth on. Once you have all your pieces thoroughly sanded down, and you want to do this because then it will run a lot smoother, you're going to take 4 popsicle sticks and put them on either side. So you're stacking your 3 pieces up and then putting just a line of glue on the outside pieces of wood, and then you're gluing the popsicle sticks down. You don't want it to hit the centerpiece because the centerpiece will not slide if it has glue on it. It doesn't matter what color popsicle sticks you use. I use these ones because these are the ones I had, but if you're going to go buy them, maybe buy like the wood colored ones. But you see how I can push it out freely and that it can move without any resistance coming out of there. Next, you're going to cut a couple pieces that you're using for the actual handle parts for the elastics to go on. So I think that you need, well, let's count. 3 triangle pieces and 1 like more of like an ovular shape. And then you're going to sand all these down as well. I'll show you up close, I guess, what my shapes look like. I didn't measure these at all. They just have to be able to sit on top of the blade without any, once again, resistance from the edge pieces. You'll see once I glue it on. You'll get it. Oh yeah, and you do want to cut a little bit of a triangle on the top of 2 of your rectangle pieces because that's the thing that the elastic's going to hook around. So push the blade back into the blade holder compartment thing, and then you're going to mark a hole in the center of the blade and then cut a hole right through the blade with an X-Acto knife or whatever you have. And then sand it up a little bit so it's a little bit smoother. I mean, come on now. We're going to try to make this look nice. Then put the blade back into the blade holder thing, and then you're going to mark where the hole is all the way through to the bottom, and then pull the blade out, and then cut a hole right through the bottom all the way through, and then give it a quick sand again. Next up, you're going to get ready to put the dowel through the bottom. I measured this just basically after I had stuck everything together and just to see how far. So you basically want it to come all the way through to the top. You should be able to see it. And you're going to sand it down and make sure that it can kind of go in and out of those holes very smoothly. This part is like the foot. It is shaped kind of like a little bit of a tongue. This is an extra piece that you need to cut as well. You're going to cut a little hole in the bottom, and then the dowel's going to go through that. It's kind of hard to explain, and I'm kind of bad at explaining things, so you can just watch, and then if you have any questions, ask, I guess. when in doubt, just hold it really close to the camera and hope that everybody gets it. This next piece is a piece of the dowel. You just want to put it on right below the hole, not too close, but enough that it's kind of like a teeter-totter motion for the little nubber to come out. And I'm gonna let it be for this because I'm sure you can tell exactly what I'm doing with those extra pieces that we had cut out earlier. The only thing that I'm gonna say about this is I did only get you to cut out a certain amount of triangles, but really I was one triangle short. You do need a little bumper to go over top of the circle piece to put the other arrow on. Just because if you don't, then the elastic doesn't sit properly, and I found that out later, so that's why I'm doing this now. And the two arrows need to be facing away from each other so the elastic can hang around it properly. See? Ooh, so beautiful. Anyway, you're ready to put the elastic on. So these are just regular elastics. It doesn't matter what size, it's kind of the size that I had. I used one of the bigger ones. And wrap it around the desired amount of time. And then you can see it kind of makes like a spring motion with that tongue on the back side that pulls the little nubber out of the hole, which will allow the blade to freely move forward. Then you stick on your second elastic and pow! Isn't that fancy? Look what you made! Now I'm going to paint it all silver, and this is Martha Stewart's Sterling Silver Acrylic Paint. That's kind of a tongue twister. But you're going to paint it all over gray. You can have complete free will of however you want to paint this. I was just doing kind of a quick paint job because I didn't really care. And you can do detail on the blade, whatever you like. And then I just kind of dry brushed it. I heavily dry brushed it with black. This is, I think, I don't know what it's called. It's also a Martha Stewart, that rust black paint that I've been using forever too. This piece is going to be the arm piece that it sits onto, so that's just Funfoam. And I kind of gauged out, I just put it on my arm and gauged out the shape. I didn't really have a rhyme or reason, but I can put in the description box the actual size that I used. I have very small arms though, so if you have bigger arms, then you need to obviously extend yours. This leather or pleather piece that I have is also a piece of a jacket. It was a jacket arm. I just cut it up. It's what I had, so it worked out perfectly. These little rivets that I'm sticking in, I actually just cut holes and then glued them in. I initially had planned to do like a crossover weaving with leather on the back, so it looked really neat, but unfortunately it got stuck in the mechanism, so I kind of gave up on it. But it's okay because having those there gives it a little bit more like detail, and it looked kind of cool. Glue your Funfoam on, and then you can kind of trim up the edges with extra leather if you want it to look a lot nicer and not see so much of that blue. Or you can put a whole other piece of leather on the backside so you don't see the blue. I might do that down the road, but for now, this is what it is. The next step is to be gluing on two other pieces of that pleather to the side of the blade. These pieces are probably about, I don't know, 2.5 inches thick. You can trim them down, so always, you know, you can do more and then trim them down, so don't undercut them. You just need enough that the Velcro is gonna have enough width to stick onto the blade. And that's what I'm doing right there, is gluing on the Velcro strips. I did have to buy this Velcro, and I found it at Walmart, I think. No, Micheals. Micheals in a package, and obviously with the coupon, I don't think it was very expensive at all, and I had extra, so I could always make two. Once you have it glued onto both sides, you can see it looks actually quite clean there. You can trim up the extra. And then I just measured out the back side of the Velcro between the rivet holes. And as of now, this is innocent Michelle thinking that she can still do the crossover. Look how happy she is until it happens, and then all the world just explodes. But glue on your Velcro. Just glue it on. Once everything dries securely, you are ready to stick it on your arm. And as you can see, it's hard to do with one person, but you can do it. I believe in ya. Once it's on, just be careful about the end piece shooting out and hitting someone or hitting your pet. Move it to the side, and there you go. Pretty cool, eh?
The Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade tutorial. Well, watch Michelle do it. But Nick plays Assassin's Creed. He's playing Syndicate, and he had said to me, wouldn't it be cool if you could do like one of those hidden blades? I'm like, I wonder if I could make that. So I found some tutorials online for smaller ones or more intricate ones. I'm like, I don't got the time to have to try to get all these little pieces and cognitive things and put them together. So I'm like, how can I do this in the most simple way possible, but it still looks awesome? And this is what I came up with. So this is recycled jacket pleather that I had from some other projects. I've already been using it, and it already has these little embellishments on it, so that was fine. I did add these on because I wanted to do a crossover, but it got in the way of the mechanism, so it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, so I just left it. Other than that, it's just Velcro, and then, take it all the way off. It's Velcro, and then Funfoam just to hold the shape of the leather. This right here is the paddle that your wrist pushes on, and basically what happens is it pushes on it, and there's a little bit of a, like a nipple or a nubbin thing there, and it pulls out of the holes, and then it can shoot out, and then when it's in, it shoots in the holes, and then it won't shoot. Overall cost for this, I think the only thing I really paid for this project was the wood, and it was maybe $5-6 with a coupon. I already had the jacket. The jacket I think I paid like $6 or $7 for, but I've used it for 3 projects already, so for me that's like, that's nothing. What a deal. But yeah, so that's basically it. It's very simple. I do have Velcro on both sides because Nick has bigger wrists than I do, and so I made it so it was a little bit more accessible for someone like Nick to wear. But yeah, so that's basically it. I think it looks pretty cool. It actually turned out quite nice for the most part. I've seen worse, so I can't really complain. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can feel free to ask. If you want to subscribe to my channel, that'd be awesome as well. I'd love to get requests. I am working on some things that some people have requested, so if you watch my videos and you have been requesting, you never know, something that you said you wanted to see is coming up soon. But other than that, this is what it is. Oh, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the same as my YouTube channel, GGAETZZ. And yeah, thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.